Hello and welcome to Professional Envelopment. My name is Coach Midas. And simply put, I want to tell you two things: what professional envelopment is, and I want to share the truth. What is professional envelopment? Simply put, is keeping your passions in industries that eat away at you slowly. Today, I'm going to tell you the truth, but not my truth, at least not today. I'll get a chance to share a really influential story of a person that I was fortunate to have met. His name, Charles Phillips. From where? Walpole, New Hampshire. I wasn't alone during this trip, but for all intents and purposes, I'm limiting the story to just he and I for clarity in our conversation. As I walked down the streets of Walpole, New Hampshire, I lock eyes with a very expressive person. I'm from New York City. So when someone is ready to engage you with full conversation, you're ready to keep the conversation brief and keep it pushing. However, there was just something about Charles that when you spoke to him, you were gravitated. And whatever plans you had, set them back for a little while. You're in for a great time. Good story. Now, as he was chatting about the town, its residents, and a world famous chocolatier right up the block, he let me into what he did. But of course, he first asked, "What is it that you do?" And when I told him I'm a coach and I teach children, he was over the moon. He really respected this profession. And sometimes in these days, it's hit or miss, right? But the way that he saw that I was a fellow human who was passionate about teaching the youth and coaching the youth, he really let me in. And one of the things we were talking about was two things. What he did, two things. He was a mechanical engineer, and that was something that he did well. But the thing that brought him the most joy was the thing that he talked about the most. And he was the creator of Clue Junior. Okay, so he already thought a game like Clue needed to be adapted and modified for younger kids. That's profound thinking at the time that he conceptualized this. So the genius behind that. And he also created a game called Mags. It is not well known today. However, if it had gone a little bit differently, it probably would have been the platform where we probably would have based a lot of American gaming. All right. So, just to give you a little bit of context, Charles used his mechanical engineer skills along with his musical talents and his love for gaming and joy for kids to conceptualize a game that responds to the sound of music. So anything that you played and hooked up to this device, the game will respond accordingly. Well, he pitched that over to a big company, willing to help out and do it, of course. And this big gaming company was all in. They were ready, they were excited, they wanted to see the prototype, and Charles delivered. When he gave the system in the game to the representatives of this big gaming company, they saw the dollar signs immediately. They got it from here. Don't worry about it, Charles. We'll take it from here. come the day of the expo, you're going to get that prototype, the most official, up-to-date, current prototype. All right. So we'll fast forward to the expo. That's at the Jacob Javits Center. And as Charles gets ready to present this game, he learns something very important. It is not running the way that he had intended it to run. What happened was the big gaming company shipped his prototype to a third party out of the region that did not supply the best parts or the most advanced technology that can run this thing. It was a cost-cutting measure to make the price point affordable for the masses. And that was a massive mistake. It didn't even get off the ground. The hardest part of this whole story was having to hear this individual go home and tell his wife, honey, I don't think things are going to go our way. With the heaviest heart, you have to go home and share this information, that something that you work so hard, something that you've shown so much passion in, and you've expected. You have the result. The image of success is in your mind. You see it, but it does not come to fruition. And you had nothing to do with it. Well, sobering. Well, if you look at it in that aspect, it is a complete kibosh, right? Failure. Well, I'm happy to announce that that's not the end of his tale. He was able to make a very good and solid living post this, personal tragic moment, that he was able to, retire in such a lovely place. You could tell around the neighborhood, you can tell within the community, he was well liked, well respected. One of the things he did tell me as I was leaving the next day, and we wouldn't be able to connect before I left, he wanted to share the concept of what the game looked like. He wanted to share Max. Unfortunately, I was out of town the next day, so we couldn't meet. Tied also to this is, at the time that I met him, he was falling ill. He was already ill, and he did not have much time left on this earth. I reached out to him, just wishing him well, which, of course, and understandably, didn't receive a response. But I was able to find the very thing that really puts this person in the highest light. When I was looking Charles up, I found his obituary. And I just want to share this with you because I want the world to know that the most incredible people on this planet aren't the people that you know about. The most incredible people on this planet you have yet to meet. The most incredible people on this planet you pass by on the street. The most incredible person that you know stares back at you in the mirror every day. So I think that reminder is super important. And this is a true passion of mine. I don't want anyone to live what they feel to be a meaningless life. I know we spend a lot of hours, crunching numbers and, putting the work in. And the guilt factor is there for those sometimes who want to take a moment off and can't. Or some of us base too much of our identity in our jobs. And it's okay to be any of those people. Heck, I've been all of those people. But the true work is the work that was destined for you. Something that only you could bring to the table. And that's you sharing your passions. And it doesn't have to bring a paycheck. If what you do in the day brings you the best, income, still find time to do the things that you love. Even if it doesn't cost a thing. Even if it doesn't pay out anything. I'm telling you, a meaningless life is only a life that is lived when we don't choose to take control over it. And I am not in control of much in this world. I've learned that the hard way. But what I am in control of is my next steps. Even when I lose my cool, is my next steps. Enjoy the walk. I just hope you enjoy walking with me. All right. We'll catch up later. Till next time. Coach Midas, Professional Envelopment.